Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the journey of building a digital business. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by the idea of tech startups, or maybe you thought you needed to be some kind of expert coder to succeed in today's economy, well, you are exactly where you need to be. We're going to break the whole thing down, literally from a tiny spark of an idea all the way to reaching a real paying customer. So think about this for a second. What do a local salon taking bookings on WhatsApp, a tutor teaching math through short online videos, and a farmer connecting with buyers on a mobile marketplace all have in common? Well, they're all everyday examples of digital entrepreneurship. It really isn't just about building complex algorithms or launching the next massive social network. No, this is the true face of digital business, just using the everyday tools already sitting right there in our pockets to solve problems, reach customers, and create genuine value in our own communities. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at everyday digital entrepreneurship, how to start with real problems, running the SWOT analysis test, defining your buyer persona, and finally, turning those ideas into action. Let's dive right in. Section 1. Everyday digital entrepreneurship. So let's nail down what this actually means. Digital entrepreneurship is simply the creation, improvement, or growth of a business idea using accessible digital technologies, platforms, data, and networks. The absolute most crucial word there is accessible. It's about using everyday tools to create value. It's not just taking a traditional brick-and-mortar store and slapping a website on it. It's a fundamental shift in how you reach people and deliver value. And you can do it all without needing a computer science degree on day one. To really see the difference, think about a traditional storefront. Your reach is pretty much limited to whoever physically walks past your door, right? And gathering feedback? That usually relies on a dusty suggestion box or just casual chatting. Plus, testing a brand new product can be incredibly expensive. But a digital model? It offers massive, game-changing upgrades. Your reach suddenly explodes far beyond your physical zip code. Feedback starts rolling in rapidly through data and direct messages, and you can test new ideas super quickly and affordably before you go and invest any heavy capital. It's really just a simple, logical evolution. You start with that solid traditional business foundation. You have something valuable to offer. Then you just add basic, accessible digital tools to the mix. Boom, this instantly grants you a much wider reach. And because you're suddenly reaching more people digitally, you start gathering this rich, incredible customer insight and data. Finally, that insight is exactly what allows you to make way better, informed business decisions. It's just this brilliant, continuous loop of improvement. Moving on to Section 2, starting with real problems. Think about these everyday scenarios. You've got students who can't access their revision materials after school, or customers who are just struggling to find a reliable, trusted, local artisan. Maybe small food vendors who are completely overwhelmed trying to manage repeat orders, or farmers isolated from broader buyer markets. These aren't just minor inconveniences, these are real-world frustrations. And listen, as an entrepreneur, frustrations are your absolute best friend. They are literally the perfect starting line for your digital entrepreneurship journey. Now, I really want you to burn this simple path into your memory. It goes problem, leading to opportunity, leading to a digital solution. Far too often, and I mean all the time, people build this flashy digital app or solution and then go wandering around trying to find a problem it can magically solve. That is totally backwards. You absolutely must identify a real human need first, evaluate that as a solid business opportunity, and only then do you introduce the digital solution that makes solving it easier, faster, or cheaper. Which brings us to Section 3, the SWOT analysis test. Okay, before you write a single line of code or spend a single dime, you need to do a SWOT analysis. It's a classic, highly practical tool for evaluating whether your business idea is actually viable. You're just assessing its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It forces you to look at your brilliant new idea objectively, from every critical angle. It literally helps you spot the glaring gaps you probably missed in that initial rush of excitement. Let's look at an example. Imagine we're building a digital marketplace for local artisans. First, the internal factors, your strengths and weaknesses. A major strength, it offers easy discovery and huge convenience for customers. But a weakness, well, some artisans might actually have pretty limited digital skills. And building that initial trust takes real time. Now, flip to the external factors. Opportunities might include the massive growth in mobile payments and a surging interest in local products. But the threats? You've definitely got existing competition and potentially tricky physical logistics to overcome.
See? By mapping this all out, we know exactly what real-world challenges our digital solution absolutely has to overcome to survive. All right, section 4, defining your buyer persona.
You simply cannot build a great digital experience if you have no clue who is on the other end clicking the buttons. That's exactly why buyer personas are 100% mandatory. A buyer persona is just a realistic, research-based profile of your ideal customer. It is not a random guess. It's built from genuine insights into their specific needs, their daily behaviors, their motivations, and yes, their frustrations.
Let's stick with our artisan marketplace example. Meet Amina. She's 32, living in Nairobi. She's a busy working professional who really wants quality handmade furniture, but she absolutely lacks the time to drive around visiting physical workshops. She's the kind of person who compares prices online before buying anything. She highly values trust and convenience, and her daily habits heavily rely on using mobile money and scrolling social media. By bringing a specific customer like Amina to life, well, suddenly abstract market data becomes a tangible, relatable person that we can actually design a service for.
Now you might be wondering, why does this level of detail even matter? Because truly understanding Amina dictates exactly how we build our business. If Amina uses mobile money every day, then selecting mobile money as a payment option isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it's absolutely essential. If she lacks time, our customer experience has to be incredibly fast and convenient. If she values trust, well, our marketing messaging better highlight reviews, guarantees, and total transparency. Your buyer persona literally makes your hardest business decisions for you.
And that brings us to our final section, turning ideas into action.
This right here is the core takeaway of this entire explainer. Step 1, identify a real problem in your community. Step 2, imagine a digital solution using tools that are already accessible. Step 3, use the SWOT framework to pressure test that idea's viability. Step 4, define your buyer persona so you know exactly who you're serving. And Step 5, pilot the idea in a small way, learn from the feedback, and continuously improve. This framework shifts your mindset from overwhelming business theory to a totally repeatable, logical sequence that you can start using today. Honestly, it all boils down to this. Solve real problems, understand real people, test real ideas. This perfectly summarizes the human-centered philosophy sitting at the very heart of modern digital entrepreneurship. It's a great reminder that technology is really just the vehicle. The ultimate destination is always serving people. Now, if you're an educator, trainer, or a facilitator tuning in with us, you can instantly transform passive learning into active workshops using a few practical exercises. First, have your learners map a local problem directly to a digital opportunity. Then, have them run a quick 15-minute SWOT sprint to find the weak spots in their concept. Finally, have them design a detailed buyer persona card. Getting them learning through action is honestly the only way to truly grasp entrepreneurship. Well, that brings us to the end of our roadmap. I want to leave you with one final empowering thought. What local problem are you going to solve digitally today? Seriously, look around your community. Listen to what people are complaining about at the grocery store or the coffee shop. The tools are accessible, the process is clear, and the opportunity is sitting right in front of you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.